Gotta go. Girl talk.
Boom!
Harden.
Yeah. try to set you up. Yeah, maybe we should talk about that before we start the show too. Next time.
Hardens?
Hard ins. We should work our hard ins together. Or that just that doesn't work. That nope. Okay, I'm gonna edit that. Hey everyone, welcome. Hey Gotham, welcome to Gotham City tonight. I am Ryan Dole. With me is Alex Brewer. Alex, how are things going?
Things are going pretty darn good. Got a nice new pickup I'm excited to show off.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
No, that is actually I had a new
How are
pickup
you?
too, and I already like breezed through it on the show. I'll just tell you what it is. I
Yeah.
got and then we'll say hi to the chat. I got the X-Men Epic Collection.
Nice.
The gift. And that's the one where it's like Kitty just is now she's starting to wear the Shadow Cat costume. So it's the 80s, like it's the early 80s. I think it's 80, 81.
Okay.
And it also has, I got it for one particular reason, the main reason. Because even though that's not my particular era of X-Men, and I enjoy it for what it is, I had to get it because that was the Epic Collection that has the Nightcrawler miniseries in it.
Oh, nice. Cool. Okay,
Right.
wow. So it really does like a true chronology. Like it does even the mini series and stuff.
Miniseries and
Cool.
the annuals. And then of course in the back it's like a special edition DVD or Blu-ray where
Oh,
it's got
wow.
all like the making ofs of everything. And so that even has like the Marvel Saga interviews with oh my god, I just said his name in my head.
Chris Claremont?
Nope. Dave Cockrum.
Dave Cockrum. Nice.
Right. And talking about the Nightcrawler miniseries and what it means to him and why he's doing it. And
So what's happening during this? Is this when Dave Cockrum returned to the book and they fight the Brood and stuff? Like,
so, no, this is the volume before the Brood.
oh, okay.
So this is before that. So I'm even trying to remember the artist. I just remember, like when the X-Men Classics came out, I was like, I don't think I like this art. Like, and it's now I just got to try to remember. This is why I should have had it on hand because now I sound like an idiot. But I mainly got it for that because I just wanted just a nice trade volume of Nightcrawler because there isn't one outside of this. They've never had like a trade that I know of. I might be wrong.
Because you can still get the original because it's just 4 issues, so you can still get them.
Oh, I have
usually in a bundle. Yeah, so
I have them.
Yeah.
I got part 3 first because I found it for 25 cents at the PV Mart, which is I've talked about it on the show before. I used to buy tons of comics from the PV Mart in Saskatoon on 51st. That is a farm equipment store that just somehow got like stacks of comics in, and I used to just buy them. And
it's very Clark Kent of you.
Yeah, it is. I like I said, sometimes I feel like I relate to Clark Kent more than any other character in comic books. But it's but I remember being like, there was a Nightcrawler comic. What is this? Because to find something from the 80s in a bin full of stuff from the 90s from like a few months ago, right? Because it's almost like they were buying comics that were getting pulled off the comic stands from like the drugstore or wherever. And then it's like they were grabbing those and then just buying them or just picking them up for nothing and then selling them for 25 cents. Right. So it was like a 25-cent bin without the big marker of 25 cents on top.
Yeah.
So to find all of a sudden, like there was an issue of Nightcrawler in there, it was like a very, very big deal. Like it was.
And to think some people are in there buying seed.
It's true.
You're
right.
Buying comics.
Buying a bag of oats in a bucket, and there's me buying a stack of comic books.
Having your life changed.
Dude, it was amazing. It was so good. Let's say a quick how do you do the chat, then we'll get into your awesome pickup. And we got to talk because I want to talk about that too because I'm super curious about it. Let's say hello to Mr. Johnny Disco. Yes, 30 years old. 30 years was 10 years ago, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
Stanley Eberhard, is there going to be a new cut Curiously, who would I cut? Talking about the
New
Schumacher cut?
Schumacher cut. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be played in Los Angeles. We'll get into that in a hot bit too. Mr. Dorlaxian is here, right? Mortal Kombat turns 30. Yeah, everything's turned. We're all going to die one day. That's what I learned in American politics. Mr. Michael T. Has anyone seen Spider-Man the Animated Series getting a follow-up comic to conclude the series? Oh, yes, Spider-Man 94. We should talk about that. We should talk about that for a little bit too. Just because it has to
I'll wait for it to move and then I'll engage.
But nice.
I don't want to read no static animated series.
I think this is why we need to talk about that a little bit. Mr. Johnny Cock is here. Dr. O's collecting. Alex, your real Ghostbusters sculpts rock. I need a proper 1/12 Batman Beyond.
I agree, because like rewatching like Batman Beyond is such a toyetic show, and it's never gotten like a proper toy line. And so like 1/12. I mean, like doing the 1/6 scale stuff is awesome, but there are so many characters and concepts that would be really cool in 1/12. So yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, it's not 1/18. I don't know what 1/18 is, but
I think that could work too. You know,
sure, why not? Yeah, the Culture Vulture 81 is here. Mr. Cougar McGillicuddy. Video Power Gaming is here. Thank you. Well, you were just over at Toying Around is streaming tonight too. He's doing his he's doing his unboxing a day early.
Hello there.
He has oh my god, Sydney McKenna is on. I've never heard of her. She's new on the scene, and she's
a toy tuber. Yeah,
she's a toy tuber and insanely charismatic. We're all out of business. Like I think all us, like if we're old men toy tubers, time to cancel our shit.
It's debatable how in business we were to begin with, but
that's true. Totally fair. But she seems totally nice and totally chill, which is awesome. Gady's Toys is here. Yeah. Well, as far as I don't know if you've seen Andrew's personal account. He says he's 29, but he looks 19. Duke Booty, the professor of rickets, putting her squeeze on the squeeze way. Mr. Bionic Funk. He is here as well. Jack Knight, 73. Detroit Dave. Stephen Lawrence. Quip is here. The other half of Geek Dad Life, live on Sundays at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Tony Johnson is here. My benefactor and the only person in my will, Mr. Matt Bush, is here as well. And Marlo Brandon. Chad Stewart. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of you here today, right? Stanley Eberhard is here as well, right? Final packing for Joe Fest. Good luck. Hope you find everything you are looking for. Awesome. Okay, dude, let's get into your amazing pickup. Yeah. I don't know if you're able to hold it as high as you can.
Ugh. I mean, talk about pickup. It's hard to pick up. Well, bam. I got this tome that is the entirety. It is the death and return of Superman. So spoilers, they spoil it in the title that he dies and returns. Kind of interesting. But yeah, this is like the whole shebang, which I have never read. I know of it, but like, you know, what's the deal with Cyborg Superman? Like, who is that guy? Who's the Eradicator? I do not know these things.
I'm just judging by, I'm just going to be completely superficial on this and go by looks.
Yeah.
But I am certain that Cyborg Superman is the real one.
Well, who knows? Who knows, right? Like, who knows what's going to happen here? I mean, we got Superboy, the coolest like I still like they broke the mold with the Superboy costume. Like, you know, I don't think it gets enough love that it's one of the best superhero costume redesigns, because it's like, you know, how do you improve on the Superman look? But like, I think this does a pretty darn good job. And the haircut, super cool. Yeah, the fade.
Big shout out to Saskatoon's own Tom Grummett.
Yes.
For that beautiful design. Plus, I still feel like he draws the best teenagers. Like, to me, he is the Jose Luis Garcia Lopez of teenagers. That's
he and Todd Knock were really like,
Yeah, Todd Knock's
doing
another one.
the teen superhero stuff around this time.
Well, they knew how to draw kids. Like, have you ever seen like Todd McFarlane and Chris, like, and John Byrne draw kids? Like,
yeah, no,
like
it's true.
it's
lot
tough.
of
It's
yeah,
tough.
a lot of deep lines for
There's a lot of hashtags on that kid's forehead there, Rob.
yeah, a lot of
Liefeld.
elderly kids. But yeah, I'm not too far into it yet thus far. Doomsday is still making his way to Metropolis. But Superman's still alive and well. But
No, he did not look well in that panel.
well, he's still flying. But yeah, cool, really cool art. I'm already getting the James Gunn vibes because it's Superman, yes, but then like a bunch of heroes that I just have no clue like who they even are. Like apparently like Jean Grey is in this thing.
Oh, that's Maxima, isn't it?
It is Maxima,
Yeah,
who when I learned, I do remember her from the Superman animated series. But you got Guy Gardner is hanging out, even though he's like a Yellow Lantern for some reason at this point, and there's a guy like the Guardian is showing up. So like you got a fully fleshed out superhero world that you're just kind of thrown into the middle of, and I'm here for it. Who's this Guardian guy? Like, what's the deal with that?
Okay, I want to talk about Guardian for one hot second, and the dude with the horns. God, what's his name?
Guardian and the dude with the horns. A very Kirby-esque.
Yeah, it's very Kirby, but he plays a big part in all this too.
These are that these are all going to be like in James Gunn movies at some point.
At some point, for sure.
Get used to this look, people. If you're familiar.
Do you remember we've talked about the Man of Steel line from Kenner more than once on this show?
Yeah. Oh, this is making me want those for sure.
That's clearly what that line is based off of. Is this, and it came from the comic sales of this, where people were like, "Well, Superman's selling like crazy. We should obviously make toys of it." We got 2 waves, and I remember outside of Lois Lane, I always wanted Maxima and Supergirl. And I also wanted Guardian. I always felt like Guardian was like, because I already had the Toy Biz Captain America figure, and for whatever reason in my head, I was like, man, I want Guardian so I can put the two together, right? Have them hang out.
A Maxima would have given us the perfect Phoenix head sculpt.
That's true.
It's just Jean Grey in the DC comics. But yeah, I mean, a Supergirl. It's crazy that we didn't get Supergirl. It's too bad that line didn't. I guess it's because they kill Superman in it. So it's like, how are you going to sell a Superman toy line when he's dead? But I
feel like they did a pretty good. I think they did pretty good.
Here I am.
I want to bring this one up from Shiny Disco. Todd Nauk. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
I just say Knock. Maybe that's wrong.
Yeah, is great. He is awesome. He is like one of the nicest guys. I have met him a few times at conventions. He's great. I love his art, and he's been incredibly friendly. Oh yeah, he's been incredibly for the few times I met him at C2E2. He is like one of the nicest guys. Yes,
dude, Optimus Prime's in this thing.
Dude, do you know what? Okay,
pulling out all the stops.
I'm just going to keep bringing up other things outside of this comic. So I brought up the toy line, so now I got to bring up the video game that also tied into this. There's a Super Nintendo game, The Death Return of Superman.
What?
And it's like an arcade beat 'em up. But you only play as one character. It's unfortunate it was
Doomsday. You're punching your way through.
Well, all those characters you see in the background, like all those weird monsters and stuff, that's what you fight on the street. And you can pick guys up and throw them against the wall. And you can use your heat vision. You can do all that.
It's like, was it Streets of Rage or whatever? Like,
yes, it's like that. But it's only
they missed a bet. You should have been playing as Doomsday, and you're just beating up all of the DC superheroes, just fighting your way through the whole Justice League, and the final boss is Superman, and you kill him. Look at this great. Look at this great.
You sound like The Rock.
Look at how amazing this panel of Lois Lane kicking Superman in the butt through his cape. Look at the rendering and the folds of that cape.
He just went through a wall.
That's it. This is John Bagdanov doing the art on this first story, and it's so good. And I immediately you get Lois Lane as we love her, because she intercepts a note for Superman saying like, hey, shit's going down in the tunnels. Superman, we need you. And she's like, yeah, I'll leave a message for Clark on his computer. And then Lois Lane she doesn't wait for Superman. She just dives in. She's in the tunnels. Maybe Superman will get the message. Maybe he won't, but I'm going to save the day. So
Lois is going to Lois, man. That's how she rolls, right?
Yep.
Luis Ballesteros is here, all from Mexico. That's okay. You're close enough to the beginning.
I'm at the beginning of my journey into the death and return of Superman. So we all got to start somewhere.
Andrew of Gatey's Toys. Yeah, I thought Guardian was going to be a much bigger deal than he turned out to be. So did I, to be honest. I felt like he was, just the way he was very prominent in a lot of these titles. A Guardian v Captain America comic would be interesting in the light of current events. Absolutely. And Johnny Disco, yes, it was around the same time as Maximum Carnage came out. Yes, that is another one. They played the same too. In fact, they both might have been Konami for as far as I know.
Oh,
right. So it's anyone knows. If anyone will know, it should be Video Power Gaming, right? Like he's Video Power Gaming, right? He should know. Right. But yeah. Derek Hoover, this is what we're talking about right now. Yeah, how great was the Death Return of Superman video game? See, Alex didn't play it. I did, and I remember playing it. I remember finding the game hard, but I stuck with it, and I made sure I was able to play till I got to the level where you play as Superboy.
Oh,
that was like the biggest deal.
I imagine I would die and return a couple of times playing that game. I love that Doomsday begins with one arm literally tied behind his back. Like he is smashing Booster Gold into a tree with one arm tied behind his back.
Isn't this where are they at that point?
They're in Ohio.
I think he marches through like America, just beating the shit out of everything.
Yeah, it's cool that like they start him out in the wilderness, and he's just kind of it literally starts with his fist just punching through a wall, and then he breaks out of wherever he's being held, and then he's like just surrounded by animals, and he spoiler alert, they have this like bird lands on his hand. He kills the bird and he just laughs. So then the thing is just him encountering things, killing them, laughing. Like he's a bad dude. We know
bad. Yeah,
and I think this first issue is written by Louise Simonson, who wrote like a ton of X Factor and X-Men books. It's really that was a great like little way to introduce your big bad.
Yeah, by killing freaking Tweety Bird.
What he's all about, just a bad guy.
Right. Ducko's collecting. Do you remember the black plastic covers over the Death of Superman comics? I do, and the Return one as well. And I remember we're going to get into the blind bags in a second too, because we're going to talk about an announcement from DC Comics today as well. There's also stuff for 616 on Monday. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the board here. There's just been a lot of comic news, and now I'm starting to just kind of remember what all came out. My apologies. I've been a little busy and distracted. Video Power Gaming. I have the Superman game in an emulator, but never played the Superman SNES game. Beat Batman and Robin for SNES and Genesis recently. Dude, the Batman and Robin games for especially Genesis, because it was 2-player. Got to play as Robin. That's how you do it.
Yeah, we haven't had that in a very long time. Like that they kind of missed a bet in those Arkham games, not having a 2-player option where your friend can be Robin.
Right? Mr. Michael T, I want to say Ubisoft, but Sunsoft and Acclaim, even Blizzard worked on it all at some point. I think they did was it Blizzard? All these names sound familiar, and I can't remember placing one or the other. I am not a video game aficionado. by any stretch of the means, but I'm pretty sure like Blizzard and stuff worked on the Justice League Task Force fighting game, which I also owned, that I also loved.
Is that the one they just did the McFarlane toy variants?
They did
pixel,
really bad painting. Like when I look at those figures, I was like, that doesn't remind me of the game at all. Like even when you look at the Marvel versus Capcom games coming out from the Marvel Legends team,
yeah,
I can still sit there and look at that Venom head and be like, yeah, that's still the blue is right. The Venom, the jaw grin, the side profile of it, it looks right. It looks like the game. Even though Cap looks like a generic Cap, I still feel like that's part of the game.
yeah.
You know, and even though they can't call Gigantus Shumagorath, which I did pre-order today. Well, I need the tentacles to go with my Psylocke. You kidding me? And then the like all of that, like even like I said, like even Shumagorath, like even though he's like way bigger, and I think it's like they kind of had to do a thing, I think, with Shumagorath, where it's like this is our only chance of making him, so let's make him like the game in the sense like he's got that green and he's got that look to him. We can pose him like the game. He has accessories like the game, but they kind of has to be the same scale as what he was in the comics.
Yeah, I think they took that tact with all of those like Gamerverse releases. It's like they're because even the Psylocke, like even the ones that have like new tooling, they're still the aesthetic, the regular aesthetic of Marvel Legends, or if you just want that to be your main Psylocke or Silver Samurai, like it doesn't necessarily have to be the game. Yeah,
I agreed. I think they knocked it out of the ballpark on that. Derek Hoover, Justice League Task Force video game was a peak, right? Was peak. Yeah, I agree. I love, and again, like when you look at that game, because there's a very 90s aesthetic to it, and again with like
Superman's got the mullet,
Wonder Woman's got this tiny waist, Batman looks just very like he's got a very Jose side profile, like right, like it's very, you know, it's very 90s. It's just 90s, and I feel like the Todd McFarlane ones just said pixelated. Give it a pixelated paint job. And it didn't have that same, like, it didn't make me think of the video game. In NECA, a long time ago, they did a Armagon, that's his name, the shark from the TMNT Turtles line. But they gave him the pixelated look to be like Terminate Fighters, which I thought was also going to expand that line. They did not. Remind me to give Trevor shit. San Diego Comic-Con in person,
but that was before we were getting Toon Turtles regularly. That seemed like it was the only option for a minute.
It was, and we haven't gotten like the Archie paint of that sculpt too, which is still amazing. But I also kept that one in the box because it's got the Terminate Fighters stuff on it. It's like even that one felt like Terminate Fighters.
Dude, I would love like designated tournament fighter style TMNT from NECA. Like just do that full anime, like when you're like the instruction manual, like that super anime aesthetic to all the characters. Like dude, I want that.
Give me War, that big purple dude with the spikes. And there was that Asuka who was made for the game, I believe. And then the boss was Karai with her big shoulder pads.
Dude, very cool Karai design.
And that Rat King was pretty badass too.
Yes, everyone looked great in that.
I'm gonna keep just doubling down because I love listing. Give me the player 2 colors of all the turtles.
Of course.
All of those where they have like the purple and like.
Yes. And and those like dragon effects, like that, like Leo had like the swords, or was like a dragon, like do all that. Surprised they haven't done it yet.
Right, Topher Khan, right, Shuma baby. It's too bad they couldn't call it Marvel Baby Legends, right? Because if you know anything about the fighting game community, Marvel, because they'll just call Marvel versus Capcom or Marvel, they just call it Marvel. And then all of a sudden, when they get ready to play, it's always like Marvel, baby, like Marvel. I don't know how to. Again,
I don't even know. I don't even know what you're saying.
Yeah, dude, I'm trying to. I sound like a parent saying "not" in the '90s. That's what I sound like right now.
Not.
Video Power Gaming bringing up a good point here, right? The Tournament Fighters on different systems had different characters, which is very true.
Yes.
it always kind of got. I always felt like the look of the Super Nintendo one had the best overall look
Mm,
to them. Like they just had more of that anime, more colorful look. But Genesis had a playable April, and I don't. And
really?
one of the systems had Casey Jones as a character, which also might have been Genesis.
Man, they all should have had Casey Jones. That's a good match for a fighter game.
There it is.
This is off topic, but Ryan, maybe when you get your Shumagorath, someone's got to wear that thing like an eye patch, like wrap the tentacles around your head and just have like the eye over one of your eyes. I think that would look so cool.
I'm gonna wear it like Starro, where it just goes
Yeah,
over
like Starro. Yeah.
That's how I'm gonna wear it. I actually never thought about that. I should have army built Shumagorath.
Do they have? Did McFarlane do a Starro? Like,
no,
there must be. Really? So
I don't think so.
Can't do Shumagorath versus Starro? That's a missed opportunity.
Maybe someone who actually collects McFarlane toys can know.
Well, maybe Mattel will pick up the slack if not.
Right? New York City Figure Fanatic is here. Hey, welcome. Thank you for coming out here, hanging out. Yeah. Dude, we just did a whole lot of listing. Let's get into our main topic today before we get into more Batman news and Mondo breakdowns. Oh, there was a Mondo Build-A-Figure. Mr. Tony Johnson in for the save. It's Batman Forever's 30th birthday for whatever reason. I guess time.
Yeah, wow. I guess it is forever.
I guess
for still.
It's going to be my forever. at least my forever. This Batman will be. Yeah, it's pretty wild. I someone posted this. I had like, I'm gonna take this. Yoink.
Oh my god! Wow.
Right? Look at these children.
I can't help but notice someone who's not present.
Yeah, well,
maybe someone who's not sanctioning anyone's buffoonery.
Yeah. And it's not Chris O'Donnell, even though he's like, oh my god, at this moment. But it's we're missing a little bit of Tommy Lee Jones, but everybody else is here. The late Val Kilmer and Joel Schumacher. We've got Jim Carrey's there next to Chris O'Donnell, and right there looking stunning and beautiful, Miss Nicole Kidman, or Mrs. Nicole Kidman. She's married to that country rock star, I think. I'm so jealous. Yeah, this is such a 90s photo that I can't get over it. And I think this is from their rap party, right after the red carpet.
They look like they're having a good time. Like, look at Joel Schumacher. Like he's having fun.
He is it's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Right. This. Andrew, this could have been my prom night. I wish it was. In fact, I wish I knew what Jim Carrey was wearing for this at that time. I would have wore that. Green
vest, like a Nehru shirt collar.
Absolutely. But I do. Sorry, I'm using this photo for Batman Forever because I think this is just such a moment in time, and it just seems like everyone's having a good night. And I think these kind of evenings and moments should be celebrated. I'm sorry, Tommy Lee Jones. You're probably over it still at this point, but I mean. He was great too. I mean, he hammed it up.
Oh yeah,
but I mean, the whole movie's memorable.
Yeah, I love Tommy Lee Jones. Like he can do no wrong.
I don't know. Like, it's funny. This is why Alice is not on the show tonight. She wasn't born yet when this movie came out. Alex, because you were pretty young when this came out.
Yeah, I remember. It would have been like, I don't know, like probably early. Seeing live action movies in the theater, I want to say, for me. Right. Definitely probably one of the first kind of like adult movies, even though you can't like just like non-cartoon movies seeing in the theater, like Batman Forever. But I don't really remember much about it at the time. I think it was probably because I wasn't allowed to see Batman Returns or the 89 Batman, even like on video. So it definitely would have been like the first Batman movie I saw, I guess. Right. But yeah, I don't really remember too much, leaving too much of an impression.
Yeah, I was a young teenager, and I was still on that. I think, if anything, oh gosh, because at this time I am already like so deep in comics and Batman animated series,
Yeah.
and I'm still kind of riding that high of like when this movie was coming out, then I was rewatching Batman Returns a lot. So there was a lot of rewatching Batman Returns, a lot of just getting that hype for this movie, like before it came out. Like I remember this hype. Like I remember the McDonald's stuff. We
Yeah.
all do. We all remember the
Yeah.
glasses. I have 3 sets of them in my cupboard.
The
I don't even.
crystal goblets.
Oh, dude, that's like bring out the fine
Yeah.
china, right? It's funny. I don't think I've ever had like 3 people over at one time, let alone, you know, 12 to use all the cups at once. But I have them. Right, Mr. Michael T bringing up here, "Kiss from a Rose" is a banger.
Yeah.
Like
That
both,
I remember that the most from this, like Seal, like was just everything.
yeah. Well, I remember just like that was the first time I remember 2 songs from the same movie being played on the radio often, right? There was U2,
Yes, right.
right? "Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me," and then
Yeah.
"Kiss from a Rose" were both like rocking the airwaves.
Yeah.
Dude, I got this also. Now that I said that, this brings me up. This was 2019, because I'll never remember this. It's a summer day, and I'm just like I was like, oh fuck, I gotta get all these like household chores done. So I'm sitting there and I'm doing just kind of like dusting and doing the sweeping and just tidying up, being an adult before you go out for the day. And I got Batman Forever playing in the background. And it's that meme where it's like, I'm just gonna have this on while I clean. And I stand in front of the TV holding a broom watching that it was one of those things. So I had Batman Forever on because it's sometimes when it's summer, I get just nostalgic for summer movies for when I was younger, right? And I just so I had it on. Dude coming down the street blaring from his car, "Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me." And I was
Whoa.
like, what is this? The best day of my life. And it was so weird because like the chances of that are slim to none
Yeah.
in
I know.
2019
I
of that
know.
happening. But it'll always, when I hear that song, I think of that day because it's just like, how? What are the chances? It was so, and I was
A glitch in the Matrix. For
glitch
sure.
in the Matrix for sure. 2 kindred spirits passing in the daytime. It was awesome, but nice to know I wasn't the only one feeling nostalgic that day.
But do you remember? So yeah, so you had been rewatching Batman Returns in preparation to go in to see this movie. Do you remember what the effect was when you saw it? Because I imagine it would have been a little bit jarring because it is like a tonal, or it's a stylistic shift for this movie.
I don't think so, because I was also watching a lot of Batman the animated series.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of, I think that helped temper expectations and balance.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't until I was an adult where I watched Batman. I watched all 4 movies in a row.
Yeah, right.
More or less. And that's when I kind of realized that going from Batman Returns to Batman Forever actually feels less jarring than 89 to Batman Returns.
Oh. Huh.
Right? Because Batman 89 feels like it takes place on one city block.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It feels very condensed. It's still very big, and it's still very like, whoa, like, because 89 is 89. 89 will always stand on its own. And I feel like you can always watch 89 and not the rest, and you're fine. But I feel like if you watch Returns, it's easy for me to go into Forever, but you can't go from Returns to Batman and Robin.
Oh, certainly not.
Right? Like it's like, even I felt like going from Forever.
I don't think you can go from Forever to Batman. Yeah, I don't think you can't go from anything to Batman and Robin.
Right? So, but again, Batman and Robin is, I feel, to me personally, I feel like Batman and Robin you can watch on your own, like on its own, and it's fine. Like as long as you know what it is, you know what you're getting into, and you have your expectations set that you're watching a big Hollywood budget 90s movie of Batman 66, right? 30 years from 66 was Batman and Robin, and now we're 30 years from Batman Forever, funny enough. And so it
feels right.
Feels right. Right? It's pretty close, right? And then
I mean, it is kind of weird thinking of like George Clooney as like Adam West, like George Clooney now as Adam West when Batman and Robin came out.
Well, we just 2 episodes ago we talked about Adam West's pitch for his movie.
Right.
And honestly, when you think about it now, and you're like, and we've already seen Keaton come back 30 years later.
Yeah.
And
Clooney come back.
And Clooney come back 30 years later in the same movie, right?
Yeah.
So now when you think about it in retrospect, Adam West coming back in the 90s to do his own movie doesn't seem that far-fetched.
Yeah, it would have been great. I think it was like at that time there was still such a divide between television and movies. Like,
dude,
there was just now those worlds are completely everything. Every movie is a TV show. Every TV show is a movie. Like, but back then I think it was more like kind of unthinkable that like.
Well, dude, there was a Berlin Wall across every genre of storytelling.
Yeah,
comic guys don't go write cartoons. Cartoon guys don't go write live action. Live action TV does not go to movies. Actors might, and actors might cross over and vice versa. But the people who write and direct, at that time, it was a hard thing to jump. And on top of that, it's like some movies can also become, or some TV shows can become movies, in the case of Batman animated series, or Sesame Street, or Muppets, Pee-wee, any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but even then, it's like the movie is like kind of a big production, and it's different. Like, I don't know. It's right,
because when we never saw Pee-wee's Playhouse in a movie, do you know what I mean? Like we never.
I think you could go easily from movie to TV, but the other way around, I think it had to be more of like, I mean, it was anyway.
Right. But even like they wouldn't let like Paul Dini like go near movies, like Batman movies, even though he worked for Warner Brothers.
Right.
He was already doing comic books. He went from doing like the animated show to doing comic books. And I think it was even Kevin Smith who was like, why didn't you ever write a movie? And he's like, they wouldn't let me.
Yeah.
I'm a comic guy. But now comic guys are being allowed onto the movies. Right? So you've got Tom King working with James Gunn.
Yeah.
And you've got all these big name writers and artists, right? All working together with the movie side, at least on DC. Marvel is treated more like an idea farm.
Yeah.
Like the comic guys are still kind of like the comic guys. And even then they don't like to give any of the artists credit because they don't want to pay them. It's like they don't acknowledge them. So they'll be like, that's Matt Fraction's Hawkeye, but we're not going to tell you about David Aja's art we ripped off for the credits. Right?
Yeah.
Like for them, it's weird, but for whatever reason, maybe because it's great. Yeah. And again, DC is owned by Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers just seems to be like, everyone come on in. Let's all work together, right? Oh, BC DeLorean, other movie cars. Brandon, I hear Pee-wee, my ears perk up. Yes.
Hey, he was in Batman Returns. Let's not forget. Penguin's father.
Right? I like that Tim Burton would bring him into projects because they work together. I mean, in his movies too, right? So
Tim Burton directed Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Like Pee-wee, Paul Rubens gave Tim Burton kind of his big break. I've been somehow on YouTube. I've been seeing a bunch of like of Pee-wee Herman's like David Letterman appearances, and they're so entertaining.
The one of his dad at the tea party.
I haven't seen that one. No.
Oh, it's so good. It's so sweet. God, you love it. But yeah, no, Batman Forever. And one more thing I want to bring up about Batman Forever, because it's just one of those things that stays ingrained in my brain forever, that it was the only movie, it was to me one of the first movie toy lines that didn't have a basic version just a generic basic version of the characters
Yeah.
until way later in the
That
line.
that was the beginning of the like Kenner dark times of like, we're not gonna we're just gonna do what we want to do, and good luck getting something that looks like it showed up on screen.
Here's a very Hollywood attractive Dennis Nedry figure for your Jurassic Park.
I mean, to be fair, I think that they were probably developing the figures before the stuff for the movie was locked down. Like their Robin with like the bandolier and stuff, like there were early concept art, like that was what the movie costume was going to be for a while. And so so it's, there's always a delay and everything.
And I understand why that happened too. Like for the exact reason you just said, like Batman and Robin went through the same thing where all the toys were based off concept art. And that's probably what they were given, because they were like, well, you got to make these in time for the movie release. But we haven't made the costume yet. So, well,
I think Aaron Archer, who worked at Kenner at the time, like he has his podcast is awesome. And he talks about like working on Batman and Robin, where, I believe it was that, the guys from Kenner were flying out to Hollywood before there was any script, before casting was finalized. And they were coming up with like Mr. Freeze designs and toy concepts that were like informing the movie. I could have this wrong. I'm trying to remember, but watch his podcast about it. But so like the like early Mr. Freeze, where he's got the goggle eyes and it's much more like animated series inspired than what Arnold Schwarzenegger ended up looking like. Like that was because they started working on the stuff before there was really any movie happening. One more thing on, so they're talking about a Joel Schumacher cut of Batman Forever. One thing that, so when I did my like Batman Forever like marathon, I mean Batman movie marathon, the thing that struck me about the shift from Returns to Batman Forever is that Batman Forever is like, it's kind of known for like being a little bit more campy. It's like there's more sound effects, there's like the crazy canted angles. It's starting to be more it's neon, it's more colorful, Adam West. But the thing that really struck me doing it as a movie marathon is that it's much more action packed. You really see Batman, like it opens with Batman fighting a bunch of guys, and it almost looks like something out of like the Arkham games. Like, because like the Michael Keaton Batman movies, it's always very, he's obviously very stiff and like go over here and like fight a guy and like go over here and like high kick a guy. But like Batman Forever had much more of this sort of like fight choreography, like a fight scene kind of thing, more so than the previous movie. So like that kind of stood out to me as like, oh, okay, like this is a little more like an energetic action movie version. More stuff blows up. There's more like, chase scenes, that kind of thing. Pyrotechnics, like
I'm wondering if it's going to get released onto streaming, the Schumacher cut, but there's a theater in Los Angeles that is getting that release this week. And I think even Paul Shipper did like a special poster and stuff for it as well, which I think is pretty cool. But that's coming out. So I'm going to wait for more news about it to talk about it. But if you live in the Los Angeles area, look it up. I think it's actually pretty cool thing here. Michael with a 1999 super chat. Thank you so much for that. Can't have a bandolier because it would chafe the nipples. Yeah, but those nipples are armor.
Well, you can position it, I'm sure.
Right? I'm certain of it. I'm certain.
But and I'd also read that Joel Schumacher, like if he had been left to his own devices, like he said that he would have rather done a Batman movie that's more along the lines of like the Christopher Nolan movies, something more serious, something more kind of Dark Knight Returns inspired. He, went with a lighter tone for those movies as a way to kind of appease what the studio wanted. They wanted something that was more kid friendly, that would sell McDonald's toys. But he definitely I think that if Batman and Robin had been a success, he would have pushed for, and it was a financial success, but it was like critical failure, right? So he would have pushed for something a little bit more like dark and gritty, and like wanted to use like the Scarecrow and stuff like that. So
Well, he did Lost Boys. Don't forget that. So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, right.
he's got it in him. He's got it in
Yeah.
him to do it. Do we have any other thoughts on Batman Forever besides I still love it? I don't care what people think. Because otherwise we can go into the Batman news that was dropped today for the comic books.
Yeah.
Batman #1 is going to be getting released. We're going back to #1 again. Which is,
crazy.
I mean, whatever. I mean, as long as I guess Action Comics and Detective Comics keep that issue 1050 or whatever it is, as long as they keep that going, I think I'm okay with it. But man,
I hate to say that. I feel like the #1, like that's kind of killing comics for me. Because they've done it so many times, and all it does is it makes it impossible to search anything.
Correct.
You search Batman, it's like, or Batman issue 5, it's like, well, which one? Like, they're not even keeping track of the volumes anymore. It's
they're
like,
not.
yeah.
Nope. And so that's that's definitely killed it for me for Marvel, because I don't know where to start with Avengers. Like, there's been times I've been itchy to read new Avengers, and I just end up going to buy an Epic Collection where I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna reread these in like a high def classic, right? Like it's
right.
X-Men's been a little easier because they will mark the bindings with a color to let you know which ones go with which.
Oh.
So they're doing that with X-Men. I don't understand why they don't do that with Spider-Man, or Avengers or anything else. That it's like a bit like Iron Man. Iron Man goes back to Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America go back to #1 twice a year, it feels like. It's a real pain in the ass. DC doesn't do it as often. So for this case, I'm kind of giving it a slight pass because I'm actually kind of can't really remember where we left off with Batman. As far as, so really that's my fault too. Like, it's not like I can sit there and go like, well, they're at issue number 705. Why are they starting at #1? But it's going to be a pretty big thing, it sounds like, because this is going to be the jumping on point after Hush 2,
which is part of the mainline Batman new, like, but it's picking up where the last Hush left off, right? Like, or do I have that wrong?
Again, DC to me, as far as continuity goes, to me, I don't know why. I don't know like how DC does it, because like with Marvel, I always feel like they're always reckoning back to something that happened 20 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 weeks ago. DC kind of does this thing where it's like, it's runs. Here's your Tom King run. But then the next writer kind of jumps on, the next team jumps on, and they kind of go like, hey, this is a new writer and team, so this is your new era. And then this is your new era, where they don't really kind of reflect each other, but they might keep a character notion like, oh, Ra's al Ghul was able to do this and this run. And someone might harken back to that, but it's never a real plot point. Does that make sense? Where DC, like, they kind of
all I know is it could not be more confusing, and it could not be more impossible to find anything.
Right. I agree. And I feel this is what happens when now we're going in, because you remember when we started reading comics that like, oh, it's the 30th anniversary of, like, it's, but now we're getting into like 80 years of Batman. Like, this we were
there at the dawn of the issue #1 retread. But again, they were smart because they was in different. It was like its own thing. It was like adjectiveless Spider-Man #1. It wasn't renumbering the main series.
Right.
That was when they.
Andrew, again, Katie's Toys. X-Men does this a lot. Yeah, Revolution, New X-Men, Utopia, Krakoa. Like, X-Men is built on eras. Like, to me, I feel like they're the ones that made everyone acknowledge eras. That's X-Men. Right now, we are in that post-Krakoa, Gail Simone era X-Men. And then whatever's next will be that next year. That's why, to me, like, when X-Men go into #1s, as long as things are labeled correctly, I'm okay. But because Spider-Man, Batman kind of does it a little bit. Superman doesn't do it. Like I'm always like, okay, I got volume 1. What's the volume 2 that I need?
Yeah.
Right. And at least with Action Comics, I can be like, oh, if I left off at this number, I can at least look at the back of the issues and say, oh, it starts from here to here, it goes from here to here. But when Marvel is constantly going from issue 1 to 6, right, and then you've got another like 6 different volume 2s to choose from.
Yeah, and some of those volumes are only like 6 issues long before they decide to reboot it again. Like,
yeah, like it's bonkers, right? I know this sounds like a very long, sad comment getting into.
I know, old men yelling
old
at
men. Yeah, that's totally what it is. Jack Knight 73. I read the first 6 issues of Hush 2, then this new Batman at some point in the future in Hush 2. Next 6 issues. Here's the other thing too. There's been delays in Hush 2.
Yeah.
Like,
are there 6 issues going back already?
We're going. It's bonkers, right? But I mean, it's like I'm also thinking like, oh, so we're getting nostalgic for Image too.
Yeah.
So everything running late. So maybe
delays.
So maybe issue 1 will also get delayed until it comes out.
So like, Ryan, you haven't read any Hush 2 yet.
No, and it's funny because anytime I've gone to the comic shop, I go and get whatever trade is waiting for me. Mm-hmm. Like when I went to go get the X-Men ones and stuff, and I leave, I get home and go, I forgot to look for Hushed.
Yeah.
God damn it!
Well,
and now
you're waiting for the big trade to.
I think now I might as well just trade wait. But I really wanted the first issue, and now I feel like if we're going to San Diego Comic-Con, I would like to get Hush 2 signed by Jim Lee, because I'm just going to hang out at the Mondo booth until he shows up.
Now, when you say Hush 2, are you talking about Hush issue 2 or Hush 2 issue 1?
Hush 2.
This is how confusing it's become, people.
Hush 2. That's
Hush 2.
Hush 2. I'm bringing it back.
I'm like, I read the first 3 issues and I thought I was caught up, because then I read there was like a delay. I was like, okay, well, issue 4 is delayed. I'll wait for that. But now come to find there's been 6 issues.
Yeah, I guess so. There's been 6 issues.
I can't keep up with this game. And what they need to do, this is what they need to do. I've said this before. They need to just they need to have enough of a lead time when they're working on the comic so that they can release an issue every week, so that you don't lose track. You just make it. It's like watching a TV show. You're like, every Wednesday, I get the next chapter of Hush and we talk about it with my friends. Like by the time a month has gone by, I've completely forgotten everything, and it's done.
That's what New 50, the original New 52.
Yeah,
that's what that was. It was a weekly series for a year, which was like such a bold move. Anyways, this September, issue 1. All right,
issue 1 of what? Of Batman. Of Batman.
It's going to be written by one of my favorite writers, the writer of Sex Criminals, one of the best runs ever of Iron Fist, the definitive Hawkeye series. As far as I am concerned, he wrote, as brought up by Andrews Getty Toys, he did part of the Utopia era of X-Men. Mr. Matt Fraction will be writing Batman, and that has me very excited.
The way you built that up, I expected him to come out.
Oh, good. I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Matt Fraction.
Yeah. We got Matt Fraction here.
Fraction. Has
Fraction
he never written a Batman book before?
I don't think so.
Oh, this is cool art.
Yeah, this is Art Germ.
Art Germ. Stanley Lau.
Stanley Lau. He was saying, like, this is my first Batman cover. And I was like, this is not your first Batman cover. This is your first cover drawing a dude. Big difference, pal. I can see right through you. The an Arkham Doctor. I think my brain right away just went to Leslie Thompson. Like, is that her?
Anyways, they did a Marissa Tomei Aunt May thing.
Yeah,
Leslie
dude.
Tompkins.
Let's do it. I'm all for it. Why not? I mean, at one point, Nightwing's going to be older than Batman, the way things are going. But I love this. This looks so cool, and this also just that grit he's doing with his mouth, and those big white eyes in the blue.
It's a very classic It's very Jim Lee Batman.
I was going to say, this might be the closest we get to a modern day Zeller's Batman.
Oh, yes. That's the expression for sure.
Robin!
Speaking of Robin, here's the thing. Batman issue 1, if Robin shows up, I better see him wearing a recognizable Robin costume. I don't care if it's Damian or Dick Grayson or Tim Drake or whoever the hell they want. He better just be in the red and green, because like this new Robin costume
with the gray,
that's like gray and black. Not for me.
Not for me. Not my Robin.
I know. Get it out of here. It's like, why reboot it if you're just going to use the current, whatever the modern, not iconic look is.
I agree. Hang on. I'm going to try and say this guy's name correctly. I tried to save it somewhere just so I could make sure that I somewhat said it correctly. Right? This is Totino Tedesco.
I love his artwork.
Same
so
here.
So good. But I would love if he did like interiors for a Batman book. Like but he's cover artist, I think. So
there's so many cover artists that I would love to see just do interiors ones. But then it makes me wonder, can they do interiors?
He can do no wrong. Julian Totino Tedesco, right?
Yes.
He can do no wrong. It's his superhero stuff. It is the way the likeness for like the way he chooses to draw the characters. Like it's always perfect. Yep. And this to me is just like classic. This is like a Chip Kid Batman. It's like very designer Batman, right?
I might be wrong. I might be looking at an old posting, but I think Chip Kid is going to be at San Diego.
Oh, cool.
We're going to have to sit him down and be like, excuse me, sir, where are my Batman animated books, volume 2?
Get him to sign. This is him, by the way.
That is him. That's why I was saying. It says to be continued on the back of that book. You gonna continue it or what, you liar?
Yeah, right here, folks. Here's the proof.
Yeah, to be continued. Come on, Chip Kid. He is why I'm making business cards, so I can be like, hey, give me that. Come on our show, please. That's one of this is one of the covers. Gorgeous. Awesome. Gorgeous. Andy Kubert also doing one.
Nice.
This is awesome. Right? Sometimes his work recently feels like it can feel a little rushed. But the guy still got it.
Yeah, and you can rely on him to bring out new things, like whatever those like squiggle lines in the capes. Like we've never seen that before. Like you can't like the comic book legends. Like they're always gonna bring something new and creative. And I think that like Andy Kubert is one of the best Batman artists ever.
Dude,
like he's
hands down. I love his Wolverine as well. There's to me
and Adam. I hope I'm not thinking of Adam. I think it's Andy did like. Yeah, I mean, they both, I'm sure, have done Batman stuff. Both amazing. Like, both. Yeah.
Andy Kubert did Up and Away with Tom King, that Superman mini series, which is like one of the best Superman stories as well ever written. If you ever want to check that one out. But I also like the bunched up cape in the fist, hanging off the rail. Like that's. I love
wrinkles on the tights, and then the backgrounds. It's like always just like they make it look so effortless. Like here's the blimps from the opening credits.
That highlight for him to stand up. Yeah, it's just good. Makes for good silhouette.
Very smart.
Very good stuff. I like it.
And a little Frank Quitely.
Dude, this looks so clean.
Yeah,
like these lines on that belt. Just on that face, that smile, that cape, this just looks so clean.
Yeah, I guess I'd love to see the interiors. I mean, just come on back, Frank. Like, just one more stint on Batman. Like,
just so that you can do something that goes along lines with this.
Oh, nice. Oh, man, those are two really good posters there.
Right. Imagine having both of these framed beside each other.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm sure that's like the thought, right?
I'm pretty sure that's the thought. But I just want to I wanted to put that Superman picture in there just because to me this is it. This is yin and yang, right? These are two heroes.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Yoshitaka Amano Batman and Superman posters.
Yes.
Although that was like the reverse, where it was like Superman was in at night, like lit against the moon, and Batman was like had like a white background. Very cool.
It is very, very cool. This David Aja Batman cover had me crying because I want this for interiors so bad.
It's very David Mazzucchelli, kind of with a little like new adventures of Batman thrown in there, like
a little bit. But he's just so good. If you've ever read Hawkeye, if you ever read Iron Fist, Matt Fraction, Dave Aja, they are an impeccable team, and he's so Art Deco, and again, like his panels are very clean. In that, like if you take a look here, you got the buildings that are just silhouettes. Batman, who's in full color and a white background. It's very stylistic, I guess. I don't know how else to put it, but it's just like it's so simple and gorgeous.
Well, and the gravity of this is really disorienting because it's like it seems like it's at like a canted angle. The camera's at a canted angle, but then the gravity on the batarang, it's hanging straight down.
Yes.
So it's like it's like gravity. That's like the gravity you'd expect. And then his cape is like kind of below. So it's like it has this like it feels like it's like tilting over. Like it feels like the buildings go. You get the sense of like uncertainty.
Yes. Yeah. I love it. Again, David Aja, he's such an impeccable artist. He's so good. I think he only does covers now. I know he did a run of Green Arrow as well, because he had to. He's got the Archer thing.
He
down.
Really knows how to make an insignia, a chest insignia work.
Oh man, he's so good, dude. That's why I was like telling people, like, read his Iron Fist run. It's so good with like the other living weapons in the tournament. And it's like, because they're doing Mortal Kombat Street Fighter, but living weapons in Kunlun, right? Like it's Dog Brother 1. What a cool name. Okay, anyways.
Did you say Kylun?
Isn't it?
No, okay.
Maybe I did it. Damn it.
I know Kylun's your favorite. So.
He is my favorite. And this is, I don't know, Jimenez. I'll never say it right.
Jimenez.
Jimenez.
Jorge Jimenez.
Yeah, Jorge Jimenez. And so this
creator of Punchline.
Creator of Punchline. This is his cover. He will be doing the interiors because why not keep him around? He is an amazing Batman artist. Between him and Dan Mora now, I can't think of
they're both masters of like the like deltoids, Those like angular, chunky deltoids.
Yeah, they're so good. And he even did side art for the numbering, the little box, the corner box on the side. He showed that off today as well, which I was like, oh, that is great.
Yeah.
That's
a really cool Batman, like in the way the cape kind of like it feels it's very 80s. I feel like
that's what I was gonna like. To me, it feels like this is a toy.
But it's I don't know. It's giving me kind of like a Walt Simonson vibe.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah.
I see that. Hang on, now that I said Dan Mora, I'm gonna try and upload one more photo, and then we're gonna get into then we'll get into the Mondo reveals here as well. I'm gonna see if I can find it. If I saved it, I'm sure I saved it. There's no way I didn't save it. I'm psychotic like that.
Yeah. So Dan Mora's doing a cover as well.
No, he just drew something that had me like, I don't know what it's from. I don't have the context for it. But I saw it and I was like, I want more of this because it is something straight out of Lego Batman. and it blew my mind. So I don't know if anyone else saw it or not, but I'm going to bring it up, and we're gonna just look at it and admire.
Is it Michael Cera as Robin?
Which, by the way, he was great.
Yeah.
Oh, fight anyone.
Is it a lobster dinner? Oh, cool.
No, this is I'm certain this was a Lego figure with the blind bags, with him with the wand and the pink dress and the pink cowl and the pixie wings. I am certain of it, that this was a Lego minifigure.
I'm still just getting like Killer Moth vibes though.
Oh, it is so good, right? I love this. I just think this is super cute. I think this is fun. This to me is what comics are about. Let's just let loose sometimes. Let's just have some fun.
They should bring back the concept of Batman like wearing a different colored cowl every night.
Yes. Right? I agree. Right? And Jack Knight 73, yes, it was when the Batman Lego movie came out, and the Mistress of Research, is that what she's called? Or did he just call her the Master of Research?
Yeah.
The Mistress of Research. The Madam of Knowledge.
The knower of all things.
That's right. Alison Troy. She's my supercomputer. I'll tell you that.
She's like Oracle.
She is Oracle. She is the Barbara Gordon of toy collectors. That's I think that's the highest compliment I could ever give anybody. Even though she just kind of insulted me in that. I'm going to still say something nice. I don't care. Big things happening at Mondo this week. You got a few big drops. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Well, I guess I'll talk about Winston and Sandman from the Real Ghostbusters line, which if we just did a toy talk
yes,
a couple hours ago now, I guess at this point, but yeah, so head on over to Mondo News YouTube to listen to the toy talk. We had Craig from Toy Anxiety on. We Mark Bristow, our painter, Jordan Christensen, who does the packaging for Ghostbusters. We all got on and talked with Peter and Hector about Sandman and Winston, who are the next in the Real Ghostbusters line, available now for the month. And yeah, I'm super stoked with how they turned out, with getting to build more of the Ghostbuster line. And if you guys could see what I have seen recently pertaining to our Real Ghostbusters figures, just you wait for what's coming. I'm just really happy with how everything's turning out, and cool to like seeing the three Ghostbusters, seeing Peter, Egon, and Winston together. It's just like, yep, teams forming. Once we get Ray in there, it's gonna really be something special. So yeah, this is the
sorry that took so long to pull up. The my StreamYard started freezing just as I started
yeah, I might be getting some bad internet too. But oh yeah, and of course Janine. So
right.
Oh, thanks, Plastic Bubble. Hell yeah.
Thank you for the $1.99, and thank you for your support in ordering Winston. No Chewing is here as well. Cute Cult. Justin Mohan. Man, everyone's coming in now. I guess Toying Around just finished. Johnny Cock with the $10 super chat. Alex, when you were working on the Real Ghostbuster head sculpts, did you have multiple heads being worked on at the same time as you were sorting animation inconsistencies and making 2D images work in all angles? Woo!
That's yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for the super chat, Johnny. And yeah, that's a good question, because yeah, I mean, these kind of change. The sculpts change quite a bit as I'm working on them, watching different episodes. and like trying different things out. Like I try to explore like different options because they're drawn differently from episode to episode. But so I like kind of explore different things till I get, what feels the most right to me. And so even something like Winston, it's like, maybe I'll feel like pretty good about it, but then I'll watch an episode and be like, no, it should be that. Like that's, and then make those like little adjustments and then realize, it's sort of like you kind of have to go by your own instinct after a certain extent. But, whereas like with like something like Batman, the animated series, it's like, Bruce Timm's model sheets or like the model sheets or Bruce Timm's designs, like that's kind of like where you stick to. Like maybe there's like then maybe you inform it with like specific shots from the show. But with Ghostbusters, it's like the model sheets are pretty clear, but like even then like the cartoons like divert from that. So it's a bit of a challenge and you kind of have to like go with what feels right. But yes, Winston, I wanted to get like, it's got like a very specific kind of nose and that like hair flip, like getting that profile right for him, I think was key. And then it's like, doing different expressions, seeing what works for the figure release. I would love to do like a expression pack at some point, like do some kind of, because like the Ghostbusters, they have such personality, like so many different characters. I'd love to do like, scared heads for everyone, like smiling heads for everyone, like, whatever. Yep. Like, I think that could be really fun. But yeah, here he is. Winston's my favorite jumpsuit color for sure.
Yeah, I've always liked his a lot too. He was this was definitely one of my favorite toys as a kid. Was Winston. Nice. Because I just thought he was just cool, and he drove the car.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Winston is he's awesome. Like, and then we got Charles Foster Hearst or Hearst rather.
Also voiced by Maurice
LaMarche.
LaMarche.
Doing his Orson Welles.
Well, right, which also was the same voice he used for the Brain.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. I remember rewatching this again, like when you feel nostalgic, you throw on old cartoons, and I remember this. I was like, "Whoa, the Brain!" Like because I'm probably more accustomed to hearing him do the Brain voice, as much as I am accustomed to him playing Egon.
Yeah.
Right. So then when you hear the Brain part of it, you're like, got it. Right.
Well, and Egon, it's like he does such a good job of like kind of channeling Harold Ramis that you're just like, you assume that's his voice, that's his actual voice, but it's not. Like he's just a master of 1,000 voices. What's funny is like he and Frank Welker do like 85% of the voices in real Ghostbusters. Like every background character, every side character, every ghost, it's one of them. Like, but fun. Like one of my prized possessions, like for my birthday one year, my brother got me a cameo. Like the cameo phone video thing. Maurice LaMarche doing his Orson Welles impression, doing the famous frozen peas ad,
nice.
Radio ad. It's so good. Like, yeah.
Video. I just want to pull this one up as we got to Sandman because I feel like they tie into one another. Video Power Gaming. We need pajama and casual clothes Ghostbusters 2. Yes. Yeah. We just need all of it. Like, sorry. It's that's just how it goes. We just need all of it. Sandman, again, another one of those like big baddies of the series, ones that there's very few that appeared more than once.
Do you remember that? Like, do you have like memories of Sandman? Like, do you what are your feelings on
this
Sandman,
character?
Right?
I didn't. I'll be honest. It's like everyone's like, he's one of the big ones, and I'm always like me. Like later on, even like I was like, when you meet other Ghostbusters fans, I'm always like, really, him? Okay, right? he never really did it for me necessarily, but it was always like he was always something that was very prominent in like other, like, do you remember the real Ghostbusters? Like, for those of you of a certain vintage, they used to have these sticker books that you could buy, and they would be like these books, and they had like scenes from the episodes, and you put
Oh.
them in there. And sometimes you had like little like red sunglass, like little red glasses, like 3D glasses, but all red, and they would like decode all the blurred out things in red to like see ghosts and see messages. And
Oh, that's cool.
that's it. Hang on. Gades has got it. He's always got my back on this.
Panini.
These Panini sticker books. It's those.
Sounds delicious.
It's amazing. Like, it's a group from Mexico, I believe. They're the ones that do it. And they still make them today down in Mexico, those same things. They yeah, I had the real Ghostbusters one, as a lot of us of our age group did. And
I had the color forms, so
I
I'm
get the
not
color forms, but it's like,
sticker elite.
but I remember one of the episodes that they featured on one of the pages was the one with Sandman. So it was even like, even though I saw the episode was kind of like about it, it was very it's ingrained in my head just because of more of the sticker book than the show itself.
He's sort of positioned as like one of, if the real Ghostbusters had a rogues gallery, he's kind of, he would be like in it. Like I mean, because he's like he's one of the season 1 villains. At the last episode of season 1 is the Christmas episode, and that involves like Egon going into the containment unit, and at one point you see all of the ghost villains from season 1. So it's like well, not Boogeyman, but Sam Hain, Mr. Gash, Sandman, the like movie studio ghost, the winged puma. Like they're all there. Like it's like the Ghostbusters version of Arkham Asylum. So
Yeah.
I think like Sandman, like he is like part of that, like, group of like introductory villains. Also, what's interesting about him is that he's not that bad. Like, you guys talked about this on Toy Anxiety, but like all he wants to do is he's decided that like human beings are just the worst thing for planet Earth. Like Sandmans have been around for aeons. They're like an ancient type of spirit, right? And he's gone rogue because he's just like, you know what? Human beings, they're just messing up the Earth. They're no good for anyone. The most like merciful thing to do is if they all just like sleep and just dream and like be at peace, and that way they're not messing up the planet, they're not hurting each other, they're not going to war with each other. Like,
so what you're saying is we need Sandman today.
Yeah, like pretty much. But the Ghostbusters, like it taps into that kind of like mercenary aspect of the Ghostbusters where they're like, they don't care. Like they're just doing a job. Like if you are a ghost or a spirit, they're gonna bust you. They're gonna it doesn't matter what you're trying to do. If you have like good intentions, it doesn't matter if you're the 3 ghosts from the Christmas Carol. They're gonna show up and put you in a trap, like in a containment
Except
unit.
for Slimer, for whatever reason.
Yeah, but even then, it's like, I was thinking about, it's like Peter hates him. Egon, it's like, well, I'll study him. Winston is just kind of like, okay, well, whatever. Like, even Slimer, it's like he's not like, there's like kind of keeping him around, but like they're otherwise they're just like trap first, ask questions later.
Yeah. Slimer's a bit of a snitch too.
Also, kind of what they're doing to the ghosts, it's like they're condemning them to be like stuck in a trap in the containment unit like for eternity. Like what's the plan here? There's no like rehabilitation.
Hey, let's get into the moralistic events of real Ghostbusters on another episode.
Yeah,
maybe
the Ghostbusters
for VHS.
Yeah. Yeah. Tobin Spirit Guide for you, Joel.
Yeah, dude, I love this. I think this is a nice touch.
Finally.
Again, great photo.
He's gonna massage you. By the way, they don't trap. They let Charles Foster Hearst go away. Like they don't. That's one where they actually don't bust him. They're like, you know what? He's okay. He's not hurting anyone. He's got his sled.
I feel like there's a couple episodes like that, or like there's also a few episodes where it's like, You know what? This one's on the house. I'm like, guys, stop that. You got to pay rent. You got to eat.
Yeah, it's true. But sometimes you gotta have a heart.
This is cute.
Yep. Yeah, really fun. Having him sucked into the trap there. The three buddies.
Yeah, Rosebud, Full Frontal, and Slimer.
I feel like they should be on the couch, but otherwise this picture is great. And shout out to Raul Barrero, who, I mean, this is like my every memory of the real Ghostbusters, like the color schemes, the lighting, they are pitch perfect photos. And he has like a bunch more photos on his Instagram. Like check him out on Masters of the Universe Photography on Instagram. He's the best. And here in this shot, you get to see that little necklace of Winston's that is from the episode The Brooklyn Triangle, where you meet Winston's father, Big Ed Zedmore. And they each have like a necklace that's been in the Zedmore family for centuries, passed down. And it turns out to be a key that unlocks a door in another dimension. So had to include the Zedmore family heirloom in this set.
They should have brought that into Afterlife.
Yeah,
they should have brought that. Canon.
How cool! I mean, maybe another movie, like if Ernie Hudson, like if he's like like pulling things out of his pocket and like the key, his like half of the key is just there. That'd be great. And if we ever, I'm not saying it's likely, but if we ever do a Big Ed Zedmore figure, he'll have the other half of that necklace. You can make the key.
Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, this is a great photo. This one here.
Yeah,
I can hear this photo.
You can hear, their proton packs turning on.
Let's kick it into gear. Right? Like I can hear it.
Sandman's so creepy.
Yeah. Again, beautiful portrait. Did an awesome job on these, Alex.
Thanks.
Probably got enough compliments during your Mondo stream. So maybe you know what? I think this one's a little off. I think you could have used more time. This is just a prototype, right? I hope so. I'm kidding. This is
I don't know. Sounds like you meant it.
Oh my god. Shut up. These are great. Again, I love the RGB traps more than the movie ones.
Yeah. I mean, just the colors, they really, and they're prominently displayed on the proton pack. So I feel like the caution stripe is such an important part of Ghostbusters aesthetic, and so having a prominent caution stripe is just that just hits the nostalgia for me.
Yeah, I agree. But I also just like I like the foot pedal as well, where it's just like the puck.
Yeah.
Like I like
it's very elegant.
It's just
industrial
clean
design.
Yeah. It's just clean. It's just to me it felt like that would be the next step in the evolution of the gear, right? Like that's just when you see the movie.
And I'm so glad that it's like the little inner cartridge actually slides out. And it's like sculpted to look like the show. So if we ever do like a containment unit, you can like put your little trap in there and slide out the cartridge.
I will not pay $300 for an ecto containment unit if it doesn't make lights and sounds. So just so you know, I expect when you open the thing and you turn the latch, you open it, it makes that gurgle that it makes when it opens. I can't recreate it. I am not a sound effects guy.
We're not Frank Welker over
I am
here.
not. Yeah.
Not that. You know what would be cool is there was like that panel where they could look in and view the ghosts. It'd be cool if we could somehow put like a little screen or maybe like a place for you to put your iPhone and you could look in and see the ghosts inside.
You would need to do that.
Movie.
Here's my pitch for the ecto containment unit set. You get the ecto containment unit, but you need a figure to go with it. You get 2 of them. You get one small one. One is Slimer with the helmet with the camera.
Of course.
And the other one is, you mentioned it earlier, it's Egon in his spacesuit that he uses to go inside the containment unit. So
although
those
that's a pretty big, that suit, he's a pretty big figure on that. I mean, I absolutely want a figure of the ecto containment suit, but maybe, you know, that's worthy of its own
if
release.
It's not, if you can't do that, if that's going to be worthy of its own release, then I want the Slimer with the head camera.
Yeah.
Then if you do this as a separate set, if you do Mrs. Rogers, not What and Precious, but Mrs. Rogers with an attachment that has the handprint, and you can add that to the containment unit to the right side of it. Now I'm getting particular what side it's on, right? And you can have that, you know, it's, you know, does it work for the immediate staff? No, just the 4 Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I do like the Slimer with the helmet idea, but I also would kind of want like a Slimer getting like sucked into the container, like he's like hanging off of the staircase, like all like stretched out as it's like pulling him into it.
Yep, I'm with you. I'm with you. Keep going. Okay, what else should the basement come with?
The floor. That's one where you gotta have the floor.
Well, you
like
need that
great
graded
floor. Yeah.
I would not mind that.
We're not gonna rely on your flooring emporium for that one.
Oh, you're putting me out of business. It's fine.
He kind of has Sandman kind of has like a Rankin Bass quality to, like I feel like he should move like the snowman in Rudolph the Red-Nosed, that Burl Ives snowman.
Yep, I agree. He's just he's doing it right here. He's doing Burl Ives.
Silver and gold.
Yeah, that's totally it. Abominable. It's me, Yukon Cornelius.
I changed my mind.
It's me. I'll be a dentist.
Just not happy in my work, I guess.
Yeah, there's cute called. He just wants to be a dentist. He just wants to be a dentist.
Hey, he could start on Sandman here. Talk about choppers.
A dentist. Oh my gosh. I can't wait for our Christmas episode.
We've really covered all the bases on tonight's episode.
That's does this open?
It does not.
Boo! Don't buy it. Not worth it. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, but how? Because it would never look right. Because like the pages wouldn't.
Know.
But that being said, I would be dishonest to say that I wouldn't want to do a sculpted open Tobin Spirit Guide book in some kind of an accessory set at some point. That's on the list. Yeah.
It's on the list. I like that. I'm trying to, because what else, man? You gotta have.
Yeah, what's your top wants for if we did an accessory set?
I'm trying to think of all the weird things that we saw on that show. So because that would come with that. I'm like, no, hang on. You're putting me on the you're putting my brain on the grinder, because it's like this is a weird one. This is one on one of the later seasons, and I only remember this episode because it's one of the few that call back to Ghostbusters 2. And they put this collar on a ghost so he doesn't go far away from Peter. It's like a magnet thing that he put around his neck, and they cover Peter in the mood slime so that Peter can fly and follow this ghost.
Yeah, and he's like, it's like orange, right?
Right. Yeah, and he's just like, which is so funny because it's like, again, one of these things where it's like they didn't use pink because
partners in slime. Mr. Michael T, like who won the trivia tonight as well, like
nice.
Always can be relied on for
that awesome work. Thank you. And it's like, and so that one always sticks in my head, and I remember that because of it being Ghostbusters 2, but again in real Ghostbusters fashion, they can't match the colors to what it was in the film.
Yeah, right.
Right. So they do, yeah, like they did like orange or yellow or something. And it was yeah, I would love to see that. Obviously there's there's a lot of stuff in the background. Like
Yeah.
again, if you were able to do like Janine's desk,
Mm.
I think that's key.
Iconic.
Yeah. I think that is something that I'd like to see. And then of course with that, if I don't know if you plan on doing this with Janine already because she was teased, I feel like a year ago. But like if I would do like the nail file and just like the Jubilee from Marvel Legends, have her blowing the bubble gum.
Mm.
Right. And I think that that to me, like I know that's not an accessory pack, that's more of an expressions pack.
Sure,
but
yeah.
like to me, they kind of fall along that same deal. Again, I want I'm trying to think of the other gear that was there, and like in my head, it's like I know there was more, and I just can't. Nothing's hitting me right now, and I keep going back to like everyone had a camera on their head for whatever reason.
Yeah, this like the like burger from the opening that Slimer eats, like
yes, kissing slime, but I think that too, a kissing Slimer, but like Janine with that expression as an expression pack of the shock and the goop. And if we're gonna keep going with expression packs, again, possessed Peter from Mrs. Rogers' Neighborhood,
with the hair
and the slimed down hair, and him screaming Slimer, right? Like,
yeah,
that would be that's up there with me. Man, there's so again, this show is this show can give you so much, and I feel like with what Trevor does at NECA with Ninja Turtles, the cartoon line, he does more than I ever knew was in the show.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like this, because there's just as many seasons as Real Ghostbusters as there are Turtles, more or less.
Yeah.
Of that original Turtles line, may I add. That I think there's a lot you can do there. Because I think at some point you might have to do a head pack of the sculpts from Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters, where they're just a little more cartoony. You may have to do what is it? His pizza guy Luigi.
Oh yeah. Oh, all those like, because the intro when they rebranded it Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters, that intro slaps. Like that is
it's good.
So it has so many good ghosts, so many good ghost villains, and yeah, the pizza or the pasta monster, and
dude, like I can remember clearly that Saturday morning that fall when that dropped. And I got so excited about like, oh my God, this is looks so fresh and new, this new intro.
Yeah.
Then the show started. And I was like, I'm excited. But why am I watching Sylvester and Tweety but Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
That's which is what it became.
Right.
And then I would just go upstairs and play with my toys because I was just like, no, I'm still amped up on Ghostbusters, but I just need to I need
Q5.
Yeah, I need 5 minutes to go make my own story. Thank you. So there was a lot of that.
Watch a pro.
Right. Man, I'm trying to think of what else I'd like to see. I'd like to see a opened up Neutrino wand where you could have Egon working on it, the screwdriver. I think that would be kind of fun to have. I think of when they said the opening, like, that sandwich and everything, just doing the opening. I think
I want to do like I always like kind of want to do stuff from the opening. Like there's that machine that like Egon and Ray are working on. Although I can't I don't think a lot of the stuff is like has model sheets and stuff. I can't find anything of that like machine from any other angle. I only know what it looks like from that one, so I don't know, but that would be something like that would be fun.
Yeah, I think this show is like, it feels like almost limitless. And again, I think someone said like Ecto 2, Ecto 3, heck, throw in the Junior Ghostbusters, their Ecto go-kart.
Yeah, the Ecto go-kart is so cool. I know the Junior Ghostbusters may not be like everyone's cup of tea, although I do like their jumpsuit colors. Like anytime you get new jumpsuit colors, like very cool. And that Ecto go-kart is really, especially in the Halloween 2.5 part 2.5, like
Yep.
looks so good. So
I think there's a lot there. I think there's a lot
yeah.
there. Kevin, thank you for being here. For
Oh,
those
hello there.
those who don't know toying around, go check out his episode that he did tonight. He usually does Thursdays, but tonight he did tonight. He had a very special guest, Sydney McKenna. Gosh, I'm gonna remember that name. In my head, I keep wanting to say like McKenna Grace.
Or Sydney Sweeney.
She's not quite. Not quite. But if he had Sydney Sweeney on his show and I wasn't also on the show, I'd be very mad at that man. I would be very, very mad at him. Chris Fresh, thank you for being here as well. Mondo Primeval is gonna rule. Right? Video Power Gaming. I wanted the Ecto go-kart as a kid, dude. Again,
seems it's almost like something you could make, like pipe cleaners and stuff, or PVC pipe.
Dude, pipe. No, I expect Mondo to use pipe cleaners. 100% Toy Geekosaurus here too. Thank you. I'm trying to think of again because now my brain is just racking, and I'm just like I remember the first and second seasons so well. It's the later seasons where I just go like I drop off. My brain is just like
I think
that's not my Janine.
I think that's true. Most people, although there's like I've said, there's some really well animated episodes and fun stuff like the Were Chicken Egon stuff and Flipside with the People Busters. And
well, People Busters is a must. Like I think you need like again, I think I'd rather see What as a Safubi.
I mean, what is he'd be big. Like he'd be very, very big to do it true to the show. So we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, again, but I'm just I don't work for these guys. I can do whatever, right? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
One accessory that you didn't mention that I don't think has ever been featured on the show, but it is referenced is I would like to do some like mold and fungus samples for Egon, like
that'd be fun. Just
a little petri dish with some like mushrooms, like
right. He's a kaiju size, like Stay Puffed and Mikra.
Yeah,
he's all in there. Jamie,
some big guys.
My boy Jamie's here just in time for the Ghostbusters talk as well. Dude, this is again. I hope Attack Peter gets his wish one day of all the intro ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
He's been very, very vocal about wanting that. Again, hope to see vehicles. Love to see play sets. I hope this line goes on forever. Like again, these just look so good.
Yeah, and I do want to call out like that. So the Egon in that picture is like an early sample. So Egon is taller than the other Ghostbusters. It is just a little error in production error on this one. But Egon will be properly tall. Also, the colors are not what it's going to be. So there's some there's a process to all this.
Here. Yeah. And the no tariff for Australia was a nice touch. Guess what? No tariff in Canada either. No tariff charge. You charge the people that deserve it.
It's specific to a certain this my country, unfortunately.
That's right. I know, unfortunately, that sucks. But no, this is great. You know what? We're gonna go to one more thing with Mondo here. Then we're gonna call her a night because we're already at. Gonna check my time here too. Actually, I think I'm okay. I don't even think I need to be part of any meetings tonight. I think I'm okay. Dropping on Friday, this Friday, the 18th.
Yeah.
This is the Jaws 50th anniversary collection.
This is our best attempt to bankrupt Jacob Walsh.
Well, not just Jacob Walsh, my friends as well. Steve 3, Paul Young Lee. They are both very interesting. I think my buddy Steve he's been jonesing about this, the Jaws vinyl figure. I know Paul, he's been talking about getting the vinyls, or not the vinyls, the LPs.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just blown away by both. I mean, they're both amazing. Both the records are amazing. Like, it's just, this one is beautiful. The colors, like we were demonstrating on the Toy Talk, like that sort of pop-up reveal of the shark's fin.
Yeah.
Like, so clever and creative. It was designed by Alan Hines, who does just amazing creative work. And I mean, this is a classy Jaws record. It's making me thirsty looking at it. I gotta say,
it's just 2 notes.
Yeah, I know. What's that gonna be like to listen to?
These are great. Again, this is very, very cool.
So cool. And then the other record is equally as cool. It's got a freaking bite taken out of it, which is just amazing.
How does that work?
It's a record, right? So I mean, I'm no expert, but
oh my god, that's some brutal back cover.
Yeah. But it feels like the 70s, like the record is the color of blood. It
looks like blood in the water, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's perfect. Look at that. It's perfection.
Yeah, this is cool.
This is an art object.
Yeah, but that's what you guys do. Like, let's be honest. Like when Mondo does a release, doesn't matter what it is. You guys are like, hey, we're artists. And we're professionals.
I'm gonna say something bold with this.
Okay.
Especially if you go to the shot where it's showing the size of this figure. Okay. If you don't have this, I don't think you can call yourself a Jaws fan. I don't think you can call yourself a shark fan if you don't have this soft vinyl Jaws.
I will go further. I will say you're not even a fan of movies.
Yeah. I mean, look at this. I mean, this thing is, this is a centerpiece. This is, it's as epic as it gets. Brandon Gash, who is our resident shark expert, he did Ripster for the Street Sharks, and he sculpted this based on a James Groman design. Like, it's incredible. I mean, the bloody mouth, like, it is. This is the ultimate. I had nothing to do with this, so I'm objective in my assessment of this figure. It's the best Jaws collectible you could ever have.
Yeah, this is gorgeous. Like this shot.
Yeah,
this is great. This is something that you can have your parents over. They're gonna look at you and they're gonna say, you know what? I'm proud of my child.
We did all right.
We did all right. We raised him okay. This kid's going places.
It's incredible. Like it is a perfect piece.
Yeah, if your wife has been giving you shit about your toy collection and you have this show up at the door, it's gonna reignite your love life. It's gonna reinvigorate your marriage.
I would bring this on dates, like let it be known.
Let it be known that
what are my interests?
There it is.
Well, bam.
And you know what? And then she's gonna be like, this man here is gonna take care of me just by seeing how he takes care of the shark.
And this shark, it's gonna hold your car keys. It's gonna hold change. It's gonna anything you want. Yeah. Guitar picks. Anything you want to, to make sure you always have like that. Yeah. It can fit it.
Bubble gum.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not? Like that. Put your keys in there. That's pretty dope. Or
Ben Gardner's head.
Throw in some body parts.
The raft, the yellow raft, the dark but amazing.
It's so good. Does it open bottles? Asked Chris Fresh.
I cannot confirm.
Okay.
You might. I mean, it is soft vinyl, so probably ruin it. So can't advise. But I mean, look at. I mean, like it just looks like it's in the water, like the way the shark cage holds him, so he's like swimming. I mean, it's He's looking up at you. Like if you have him on a table, he's going to be angled looking up at you, being like, hey, boss.
Yeah,
So
boss.
good.
Yeah. Again, anytime they do shots at this angle with the mouth just wide open, and it's good.
He's great. He's
The
got
head is such,
black
the head and the
eyes like a
leg.
doll's eyes.
Yeah. Dude. Yeah, the head and the leg are such a nice touch.
Yeah.
Which Jaws movie starts with the scuba diver arm in the water? Which one was that?
Oh, I don't Jaws 2.
2?
Jaws 2 starts with like the underwater.
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I knew it wasn't 1. And I was trying to think if it was 2
or 3.
3 maybe.
We should do a 3D glasses version of this. Like,
oh, dude, absolutely.
the box is the like window that like crashes through.
Oh, like it might be getting it's got the rainbow wheel out of nowhere. Okay.
Oh,
all right. So these ones go on sale. This one, all the Jaws collection, including that print, they will go on.
Ryan,
now until.
Are you? Is it you or is it me? Chat. Which of us? Which one of us is turning into Max Headroom?
It's me because I had a rainbow wheel.
Oh,
that's what
is that code for something?
That means well, I got a Max. So
I know.
Everything was freezing. It's me. I know it's me. You guys don't have to answer him. I know it's me. But no, sorry. I was saying all the Jaws stuff, including the print, the LPs, this vinyl, they go on sale on Friday. Winston's on sale now. There's a limited time, right?
Winston's on sale for the month. So it'll say exact cutoff, but yeah, we're giving just like all the other Ghostbuster releases. It's you have a month for the 2-pack, and then we've got the single Ghostbusters available as well. If you don't want the Ghost, you can just get Winston on his own, and that's just we just have that going. Leave that up.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we've got what else do you have going on? Anything else?
That's all I can talk about.
Okay.
Mumra is and the sale window for that ends Friday, I believe.
Okay.
So definitely verify that on the website. But yeah, so that's coming to a close. And Mumra's awesome, looks sick. We showed off the packaging. Jordan showed off his packaging for it on the Toy Talk tonight. And when I saw that, I was like, that would look good having the real Ghostbusters fighting. Mumra has like real Ghostbusters ghost energy. I could see that working in a display. So
right? No, dude, I can't wait. So be sure to watch that on the replay as well. And then on Tuesday, I'll be back on Toy Anxiety. Gosh, in a couple of weeks, I'll be back on. Once July hits, you'll probably see a lot more of me online, especially with DL44 Network, because my schedule frees up at the end of the month. So I'm going to do drop a lot more content on for everybody because I feel like I haven't been, and I should be. So there it is. And then we're going to be having the lead up to San Diego coming up very, very quickly as well. That's everything. So that's it. Have a great night, everyone. We will see you next week. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.